Hello everybody. We're going to start off with chapter 1, Assistive Technology in the Classroom. This is basically introductory chapter of assistive technology. We're going to talk about definitions of assistive technology and legal mandates of assistive technology. And let's talk about assistive technology definition first. Assistive technology legally defined in 1988 Tech Act, and the exact definition copied and pasted in 1990 IDEA and also 2004 reauthorization of IDEA as well. And this assistive technology definition divided into assistive technology device and assistive technology service. Let's see the definition of assistive technology device. This is exact cut and paste from the definition of assistive technology device. Please underline, highlight, and remember this definition. This can be any item. It means a low to high assistive technology device. When you think about assistive technology device, we many times think about high technology devices, but this can be any item from low to high technology device. For example, low-tech items such as even page turner or highlighter can be an example of assistive technology device, low-tech device, and piece of equipment such as a communication device or product system such as software, even though software is not visible, but that can be part of assistive technology device. This can be acquired commercially off the shelf. It means we can buy these items at any store. Or modified. After we purchase those items, we can modify or customize those items to satisfy our students' needs. And also, afterward, we're gonna see the purposes of assistive technology devices. This is going to be used to increase, maintain, or improve the functional capabilities of people with disabilities. Please remember this portion, highlight. And the last portion, the term does not include a medical device that is surgically implanted into our body. Please remember, underline, highlight. And this portion was added to 2004 reauthorization of IDEA. Please remember, such as a pacemaker or cochlear implant. So those items are not be part of assistive technology after 2004 IDEA. Let's see what is assistive technology service then. Any service that directly assists a child with disability in the selection, acquisition, or use of an assistive technology device. This is the exact definition of assistive technology service. And what is selection? What is acquisition? Or what is the use of an assistive technology device? Let's think about selection procedure. When we don't know how to select assistive technology device as a parent, as a special education teacher, or SLP, we're going to start with evaluation first. There are lots of evaluation tools. Using one of the best evaluation tools you select as a teacher or SLP, you want to evaluate students. This is one of the selection procedures. This is one of the services. How about acquisition? There are lots of assistive technology devices in the market, but we don't know what to use, what to choose. That's why there are lots of companies invite our parents or special education teachers or SLP to a T-Expo or demonstrations. Or Pennsylvania Assistive Technology Center invite our parents or teachers to the demonstration place. So we're going to be invited there. We're going to see lots of different type of assistive technology devices. That's a part of assistive technology service. This is a part of acquisition. How about last portion, use of an assistive technology device? After purchasing assistive technology devices, many times as a parent, as a teacher, as a SLP, we don't know how to utilize the devices we purchase. In this case, we're going to ask sometimes the intermediate unit assistive technology coordinator, please help us. Then we're going to contact them and they're going to visit our classroom and they're going to help over how to utilize those devices. This is one of the services of how to use assistive technology device. As I already mentioned in the previous PPT, so these are examples of assistive technology services. Number 1, evaluation. Assistive technology evaluation. This is the most essential services of assistive technology. Before we implement assistive technology services or providing assistive technology devices, we need to evaluate our students. This is really important. Before we implement assistive technology devices or IEP or lesson plan, we need to know our students. We need to know our students' needs. This is all part of evaluation. So number 2, purchasing or leasing or borrowing assistive technology devices. Typically for a short period of time, we have Assistive Technology Pennsylvania Center located at Temple University. So we're going to borrow assistive technology devices from there, or local intermediate unit. We're going to borrow lots of items there, typically for a month or for 9 weeks, and that's all free. And we're going to have a trial period for our students. And if that's working for our students, we're gonna buy with our own school district money. Or if that's not working for our students, we're gonna just get them back. And next one is selecting, designing, and feeding. This is also part of services. And next one is coordinating and using other therapies or interventions. This is typically happening with SLP or OT and PT. And the following one is training or technical assistance. You want to get help or training or technical assistance from sometimes from other SLP or OT or assistive technology coordinator. And the following one is training or technical assistance. So these are all examples of services. Let's talk about related terminology. They are rehab tech and special education tech, educational tech, instructional tech, and informational tech. I bet you've heard these terminologies in many classes, in different classes, not just assistive technology class. In this class, please remember the difference between instructional technology and assistive technology. Instructional technology is designed for all students, including students with and without disabilities, but assistive technology is designed for students with disabilities. Instructional technology is designed for instructional effectiveness and efficiency. Examples of instructional technologies are computer and PowerPoint slide and projectors. Those are examples of instructional technology. But our students with disabilities try to access these examples of instructional technology. They are many times in trouble. For example, students with visual impairments try to access the computer monitor. They cannot read a computer monitor. That's why we're going to try to use some type of software for computer for students with visual impairment, such as screen reader software. This is one example of assistive technology for students with visual impairments. And also we use adapted mouse, adapted keyboard. So very representative examples of assistive technology. And also information technology. Please remember the definition of information technology. And this is usually in many different types of disciplines, such as business. and also speech path, and different type of disciplines such as computer science. This is information technology. This is a computer system being used to manage and process and protect and exchange information. That is information technology. This is a more broad terminology and also broad discipline. This is information technology. Assistive technology is on the continuum from low to high technology. When we think about assistive technology, many of us are thinking about assistive technology high, but assistive technology includes low technology. Low technology examples are even pencil grips and highlighters and post-it. Those are examples of low-tech items. And high-tech examples, as you know, iPad, communication devices, and tablet, computer, automatic wheelchair, and reading systems, lots of talking computer systems. And those are examples of high-tech assistive technology devices or software. And mid-tech devices, digital recorders, audio books, so lots of mid-tech technologies are examples of recording devices. These are AT continuum from low to high-tech. Let's talk about low-tech devices. So as you can guess, it's relatively inexpensive and easy to learn, easy to manipulate. No electronic components there. Examples of low-tech devices are pencil grip, post-it, manual wheelchair and highlighter, the mounting devices, and reading window. Those are some examples of low-tech devices. How about mid-tech devices? All battery-operated devices are called mid-tech devices. Examples of mid-tech devices are talking clock, talking calculator, and tape recorder. It's in between high-tech and mid-tech. It's electronic in nature. It's less expensive comparing to high-tech and less training required comparing to high-tech. How about high-tech devices? Most of assistive technologies in your mind are high-tech devices. This is based on computer technology. Lots of software are examples of high-tech devices. iPad and also lots of apps are examples of high-tech devices. Lots of software examples are high-tech devices. And more complicated to operate comparing to the mid-tech and low-tech devices and require more training or considerably more expensive comparing to low or medium-tech devices. So these are examples of high-tech devices. Voice recognition system. The most representative voice recognition system is the Dragon Naturally Speaking, and also writing tool, the outline and organizing tool. It's called Inspiration, and also word prediction program. So these are examples of high-tech or software. So these are specific examples of assistive technology, low and high, being used in the classroom. Please look over these examples being used in the classroom. And let's talk about legal basis of assistive technology. We have IDEA, we have a 1973 Section 504 of the Rehab Act, we have a 1990 ADA, we have a 1988 TAC Act, we have a 1992 Reauthorization of Rehab Act, we have a 1998 AT Act, we have a 2004 Reauthorization of IDEA. So let's talk about IDEA. As you know, there are lots of reauthorizations of IDEA, but in this chapter, we're going to talk about 1990 IDEA, 1997, and 2004 IDEA. In 1990 IDEA, assistive technology was defined AT devices and services for children with disabilities for inclusion in students' IEP. You remember the 1988 Tech Act legally defined assistive technology first. And that definition caught and pasted exactly in this 1990 IDEA. But IDEA is our Students with Disabilities Act. That's why this is meaningful. In our Students with Disabilities Education Act, this was first defined here, even though it was a cut and paste from 1988 Tech Act, it was defined in our IDEA. And also, it should be included in our student IEP that was defined there in 1990 IDEA. How about 1997 IDEA? It was also defined exactly as defined in 1990 IDEA, but there was one big change there. So it says it should be required consideration of the assistive technology needs of every student receiving special education services. It means at every IEP meeting, students should be considered for IEP. Whether they have been used assistive technology devices or not, they should be considered again for assistive technology. For example, if one student had been used assistive technology in the previous year, and at IEP meeting, they should again consider assistive technology. It means, this assistive technology have been working correctly or not. We need to revisit assistive technology. That is the consideration of assistive technology for the student who has been using assistive technology for the previous year. If one student has not been using assistive technology for the previous year, we need to consider assistive technology for functional areas, for reading and writing and communication and other areas as well. Again, we need to use assistive technology for these students. We need to consider again every year. That is the meaning of consideration. We should have this procedure at every IEP meeting. That was required in 1997 IDEA. And how about 2004 IDEA? Priority status to funding that promote universal design. AT should be part of universal design that was required in 2004 IDEA. One change in 2004 reauthorization of IDEA to the definition of assistive technology. This term does not include a medical device that is surgically implanted into our body. We already discussed in the previous PowerPoint slides, such as cochlear implant, shunt, or pacemaker. Those are not be part of assistive technology in 2004 or afterward. Because most school districts cannot afford to pay for those costs, so policymakers, education policymakers decided not to include those devices as AT. That's what happened in 2004 reauthorization of IDEA. One more big change in 2004 reauthorization is including NIMAS, or National Instructional Materials Accessibility Standards for students with visual impairments and printing disabilities. If you click this website, you're going to see all the details of NIMAS standards for student visual impairments and printing disability. Basically, this NIMAS standard means all students should have reading materials in accessible format. Again, NIMAS standard means all students in this country should have accessible reading materials. All students in this country should have reading materials in accessible format. all students should have reading materials in accessible format. Please highlight and please jot down that. Please remember that. We're going to discuss this topic in reading and writing for students with disabilities. In this topic, we're going to discuss this again. But at this point, please remember what is the meaning of NIMAS standard. Students should have accessible reading materials. And what is the meaning of accessible format of reading? These are 4 representative types of accessible format of reading. Please remember. Number 1, Braille. Number 2, large printing material. Number 3, audio. Number 4, the digital text. Let's talk about Section 504 and Section 508 of Rehab Act enacted in 1973. This is basically called Non-Discriminatory Act because this is proclaimed in the United States. Anyone in the United States cannot be discriminated just because of disabilities. But this is applied to agencies receiving federal funds. But this was a very important act enacted in the 1970s. The most important portion of Section 504 Act or Rehab Act is Section 504. That's why pretty much this is called Section 504 Act. The first portion of Section 504 is a definition of disability. This is the first legal definition of disability in the United States. It covers people with physical or mental impairments that substantially limit one or more life activities but do not qualify for special education. Please remember, this is the first legal definition of disability defined here in Rehab Act in 1973. And next portion is also important. All students with disabilities, those not eligible for special education, are entitled to accommodations and assistive technology devices. Because of this portion, many students with disabilities who are not qualified or eligible for special education are entitled to accommodation and to receive accommodations and assistive technology devices. Please remember that. Because of Rehab Act, because of Section 504 Rehab Act, lots of students who are not eligible for special education under IDEA, they became to receive accommodations and modifications. For example, students who have ADHD or students who have mild disability undiagnosed under the system of IDEA. And those students became to receive accommodations. So this is pretty much important as a special education teacher or as a parent. Section 504 plan is pretty much a simple 1 or 2 page plan. It includes pretty much a goal and a kind of accommodation you're going to provide. That's pretty much it, and student information. Comparing to IEP, this is pretty much simple and pretty much short. This is Section 504 plan. Students who are not eligible for special education under IDEA, they're going to be eligible for Section 504 plan. Okay? And who is eligible for Section 504 plan then? And student who is diagnosed with maybe physical or mental disabilities, but their disability is pretty much mild. And also your child has a record of a disability, but they are not eligible for special education under IDEA. And also your child does not have a disability, but the school thinks your child does. It means that they are struggling in school, pretty much academically or behaviorally. So they might be eligible for Section 504 plan. This is one of the examples of a Section 504 plan. And as you know, there are lots of different examples of Section 504 plan, but this is very representative examples of Section 504 plan. Please download and check it, how it looks like Section 504 plan. How about Section 508 of Rehab Act? This recognized the importance of information technology. In the 1970s, we didn't have computers at home. Not that many people with disabilities had computers at home, but we started to use computers at home at the time. Because of this, Section 508 required all federal agencies to make their website and computer systems accessible to people with disabilities. Number one requirement, federal agencies should implement computers at their agencies first. It means you need to install computers at their agencies. And number two, after installing computers at their agencies, your website and your computer systems should be accessible to people with disabilities. That was required by Section 508 of Rehab Act. Many people with physical disabilities and people with disabilities, they have trouble accessing to computer. For example, people with physical disabilities, they have trouble typing. In this case, using on-screen keyboard. We're gonna type using our fingers on the computer screen. Another example, using word recognition software. Instead of typing, you're gonna just give verbal comments to the computer, and the computer is gonna recognize what we've said. So these are examples of Section 508 response to information technology. How about websites? Sometimes websites of federal agencies. The font of a website should be a little bigger, or subtitles. Sometimes for people with a hearing impairment, they need a subtitle. So subtitles should be accessible to people with a hearing impairment. Those are required by Section 508 of Rehab Act. And let's talk about 1987 Elementary and Secondary School Improvement Act of 1987. This is more known as NCLB, enacted in 2001, No Child Left Behind Act. This was reauthorized again, known as Every Student Succeeds Act, enacted in 2015. This is for all students with and without disabilities, because this is Elementary and Secondary School Improvement Act. Elementary and secondary school, this is all for students with and without disabilities. This is a recognition of instructional technology and assistive technology. These two components are all included in this act. Please remember that. Number one component, this is about instructional technology. Number two component, this is about assistive technology. Number one, let's see, allows states to use authorized funds for programs which may include acquisition of equipment and instructional materials. This is exactly about instructional technologies. When you need instructional technologies, individual states, please use that. Number two, funds are also used for training in the use of assistive devices and other specialized equipment. When you use instructional technologies, and you also think about assistive technology for students who have disabilities. So please allocate funds for students who have disabilities for assistive technology. That's number two. Let's talk about 1988 Tech Act. The full name of 1988 Tech Act is Tech-related Assistance for Individuals with Disability Act of 1988. Shortly, it's called the Tech Act. So number one component of this Tech Act is providing federal funds to states to develop training and delivery systems. Because of the impact of this act, each state to have their own assistive technology center. Of course, in our state of Pennsylvania, we had our own Pennsylvania State Assistive Technology Center at Temple University in Philadelphia. This is the impact of the 1988 Tech Act. Number two, after you have your own state assistive technology, you should have your own territories to develop statewide assistive technology service system within your own state assistive technology center. That was required. As you remember, 1988 Tech Act gave us the first legal definition of assistive technology. Assistive technology divided into assistive technology devices and services. Please remember. Let's talk about ADA, Americans with Disabilities Act, enacted in 1990. This is an extension of Section 504 because this also proclaimed we should not discriminate people with disabilities in this country. But this applied to private sector as well as public agencies. That's why this is very important. There are 5 components. Number 1, we should not discriminate people in the procedures of employment. Number 2, we should not discriminate in any part of America in public accommodations. For example, grocery shopping center, golf course, movie theaters. In any part of America, we should place public accommodations, such as public bathroom accommodations, and also entrance accommodations, and wheelchairs, and scooters in grocery shopping centers. Those are examples of public accommodations. How about transportation? Number 3, public bus. They should place lift and other transportation accommodations for people with physical disabilities and visual impairment and hearing impairments. Number 4, state and local government services. If they have visual impairments, their documents should be in Braille, and the building should be accessible to people with physical impairment. And the last one, telecommunication. For people with hearing impairment, they should have a special telephone, TTY. They should implant their special computing and telephone services, telecommunications. These are all 5 components of ADA. And the last one is protect students in post-secondary education that are not covered by IDEA. IDEA covers K-12, but ADA covers post-secondary students like you. College students ask for accommodations. This is going to be covered by ADA. Let's see 1998 Assistive Technology Act. This is based upon 1988 Tech Act. Because of the impact of 1980 Act, individuals say sorry to have Assistive Technology Center. And this 1990 Act says, please strengthen your capacity of your individual Assistive Technology Center. We're going to support you. Please have more capacity to strengthen your Assistive Technology Center. That's the component of this Assistive Technology Act. Please reach out, parents. Please reach out other local agencies. Please provide more assistive technology devices and services. That's a major component of this Assistive Technology Act. One more component of the 1998 Assistive Technology Act is utilizing microloan programs. It's known as grant programs. Using this grant program or microloan program maximum 5 years, then please help other local school agencies or rehab agencies to purchase assistive technology services or provide services. And in this Assistive Technology Act, the requirements of a service very specified. Within your Assistive Technology Center, you need to do this. Number 1, please do public awareness programs. Please reach out parents, please reach out school teachers or SLP or other advocacy groups. And please let them know what you are doing. That's a part of public awareness. Please have expos and please have a presentation, and please reach out all other people who potentially use assistive technology devices and let them know what you are doing. That's public awareness. And the next one is promote interagency coordination that improve access to assistive technology and provide services. You need to reach out local elementary school, local high schools. They're located in rural areas, not just the central part of Pennsylvania, central part of Iowa, central part of Chicago. Not downtown of big cities, but reach out other part of the states. That's interagency coordinating programs. For example, in our State Assistive Technology Center located at Temple University, they have a local interagency programs. They're located in any part of Pennsylvania. And they have a local assistive technology coordinator. So as a special education teacher working in Clarion, they're going to reach out not Temple University Assistive Technology Coordinator. You're going to reach out Clarion or Erie Assistive Technology Coordinator, and you're going to get help. That's interagency coordinating program. One more component of a 1998 Assistive Technology Act. Provide technical assistance and training. One of the examples being provided by our Pennsylvania Assistive Technology Center is also training or technical assistance. I invited one of the assistive technology coordinator from Erie, and he came here in my class and presented about assistive technology devices in my AT class. That is one of assistive technology services and training being provided at our Pennsylvania Assistive Technology Center. That was required by 1998 Assistive Technology Act. Let's talk about the last one, 2004, Improving Access to Assistive Technology for Individuals with Disabilities Act. Number 1 component is a permanent continuation of the SAGE grant program. You remember 1998 Assistive Technology Act, we talked about microloan program. That was pretty much a 5-year loan program. Within 5 years, you need to pay back your money. But this is a permanent continuation of the SAGE grant program. Without any interest, you can borrow money for purchasing assistive technology devices. This is the number 1 very important component of this 2004 Access to AT Act. Number 2, requirement for 60% of state grant fund should be spent for these 4 activities. Number 1, alternate financing. People who borrowed money from state, they can alternate financing. Number 2, device loan program. In state, you're going to buy lots of assistive technology devices, and people in the state, they're going to borrow your programs for free. In our Pennsylvania, we have also this program. And next is a device demonstration program. we're going to visit Temple University Assistive Technology Center. We're going to see lots of different types of assistive technology devices, device demonstration program. And also annually, biannually, they have an expo. It's called Assistive Technology Expo in Erie and Pittsburgh and Philadelphia. We are invited there. We're going to see lots of different types of assistive technology devices. And the last one is the device reutilization programs. If you visit Assistive Technology Center in Pennsylvania, we're going to see device reutilization programs. There are lots of reutilized assistive technology devices. If we click there, we can get some items for free or with $1 or $5. This is called device reutilization programs. And if you have remaining funds, and you can use those money in public awareness, technical assistance, and training and outreach programs. If you check our textbook page 8, you're going to see two national developments. The number 1 is a National Education Technology Plan, and number 2 is a Common Core State Standard development. Number 1, National Education Technology Plan started 2010. It has been updated every 5 years. So it's based upon U.S. Department of Education report. The first goal was learning and engaging and empowered through technology. It empowered our all type of students through technology, empower and reach all type of students through technology everywhere and anywhere. It emphasized the utilization of instructional technology plus assistive technology. And next one is a Common Core State Standard. In math and English language, art, literature, and we have the components of technology. It means in major subject area, we need to utilize technology components. It means the importance of technology in every subject and major subject. Assistive technology have been used in our classroom in a variety of ways. Computer is the most representative assistive technology. Computer adaptation is being used in a variety of ways. Monitor adaptation, keyboard adaptation, and mouse adaptation, and head pointer and mouse pointer, and these are also different types of assistive technology. Also communication devices. There are lots of different communication devices, an iPad, an iPod, and plus a wheelchair, braces, and plus reading devices and writing devices, and software for reading and writing. There are lots of different devices being used in the classroom. There are a big potential of assistive technology for our students with disabilities. And also assistive technology being used for our students' independence. So we're going to talk about this in different chapters.